stampede has occurred during a massive gathering of devotees at the Venkateshwara Swami temple in Kasibugga on the occasion of Ekadashi. A completely tragic news coming in from Andhra Pradesh. We are learning that the stampede incident has happened at Venkateshwara Swami temple. The rescue and relief operations are underway. On your screen are the tragic and heartbreaking visuals of the devotees who went there to the temple on the occasion of Ekadashi. We are learning that the death of the devotees is extremely tragic and it's extremely heartbreaking. On your screens are the heartbreaking visuals of the stampede. This happened in a temple in Andhra Pradesh, and we are learning that several people have been injured and several people are also feared dead. Now, authorities, we don't know about if there are casualties yet or not, but we do know that a stampede has happened in Andhra Pradesh temple. This temple is a Srikakulam temple, and several devotees have been injured. We are learning at this point in time. It's completely tragic news, and we also know that we are learning that Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has expressed condolences to the families of the deceased. Now, several people are feared death in this stampede which broke out at Venkateshwara Swami temple in Andhra Pradesh. Completely tragic news. Now, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has expressed condolences to the family of the deceased, and he has taken to the Twitter to express his condolences, and he says, and I quote, "The stampede incident at the Venkateshwara temple in Srikakulam district has caused a shock. The death of the devotees in this tragic incident is extremely heartbreaking. I have instructed the officials to provide speedy and proper treatment to those who have been injured." So completely tragic news coming in there from Andhra Pradesh. And the Chief Minister has now ordered best medical help for the devotees who were present at this temple. Remember, today's Ekadashi. Several devotees went to this temple to offer their prayers to the temple, but a tragic stampede coming in there from Andhra Pradesh's temple. On your screens are heartbreaking visuals of devotees who were there at this temple to offer prayers, and now the Chief Minister has now ordered an instant medical help. And then now Chief Minister, as I was mentioning, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister has put out a tweet expressing condolences to the deceased. He says, and I quote, "The stampede incident at the Venkateshwara temple in Srikakulam district has caused a shock. The death of devotees in this tragic incident is extremely heartbreaking. I have instructed the officials to provide speedy and proper treatment to those who have been injured." I have my colleague Shomit joining us on the phone line here. Shomit, take us through the incident. What are the initial findings which you are getting, and what's happening on ground?
Well, it's a very unfortunate incident. Actually people have gathered in large number at this Venkateshwara Swami temple in the Srikakulam district, and there were hundreds of people. And suddenly, because of the overcrowding, the stampede-like situation incident has reported there, and immediately people tried to rush in and rush out, and because of that this situation has happened there, and few people have lost their lives, and authorities yet to confirm how many people have lost their lives. And what we are learning is that several people fell unconscious on the spot itself, and several were received severe injuries. Several lost their last breath during this incident. So what we are learning from these sources is that several people have received injuries, and they were immediately shifted to the local hospital for treatment. And on the other hand, few people lost their lives, and even police immediately after receiving information, they reached the spot and they took the situation under control. But on the authority side, they would have they managed the situation well. They would have put the security there at the temple even before the incident happened, because it was expected that because today is Ekadashi, huge people will be turning out to the Venkateshwara Swami temples, because not just this temple, this famous temple in the Srikakulam, but also even Kashibogga temple, but also even the Tirupati, even at other temples, Tirumala Tirupati temples, a huge crowd do turn out today on the occasion of Ekadashi. So there was no proper security arrangements is what we are learning from the sources, but yes, several persons, several people have lost their lives, and even several have received injuries from in this incident. And
lost their lives, Swami. Do we know how many people, any number which you're getting to know of these devotees who have lost their lives? Obviously extremely tragic and disturbing news coming in at the moment. What do you know far as the number of dead, injured is concerned?
Well, several dead, several injured is what as of now authorities have informed us. We can clearly see the pictures. There are 4 to 5 people lying on the ground after losing their lives, and few have been shifted to the local hospital. But yes, exact number, authorities, they are ascertaining the situation on ground. Already local police have reached the spot. Local officials have reached the spot. They are trying to inquire into the incident, how it happened, what is the reason, what is the trigger point, and because as of now it looks like because of the overcrowding this happened, but never in the past on the Ekadashi this kind of incident has happened. So people are people have in huge number turned out to this Venkateshwara Swami temple, and like it was expected, because today is Ekadashi, people do visit Lord Venkateshwara Swami temples across the Telangana state, Andhra Pradesh, and also even other places. So likewise, people turn in huge number to this temple in Srikakulam, Kashibogga temple. And there this incident has happened, and immediately matter was informed to the police, and the police reached the spot. They controlled the situation, and the injured were till then shifted to the local hospital for treatment, and few people unfortunately have lost their lives. And like I said, authorities are trying to ascertain the situation, what exactly happened, what is the trigger point, and how people actually, how devotees were trapped there. All these angles are being investigated into. So as of now, few people lost their lives, and few people have been shifted to the local hospital for treatment.
Absolutely, very, very disturbing piece of news which is coming in, Shomit, at this moment. Heartbreaking news coming in. This temple stampede killing many people. You were taking us through the reason, the possible reason. You say it's reportedly and possibly the Ekadashi rush which led to this sort of a tragedy, isn't it?
Well, that's true, because today is the Ekadashi. Huge crowd has gathered. What we are learning is hundreds of crowd gathered at this Venkateshwara Swami temple, and because of that overcrowding, there was no other option left, and people got trapped inside, and there was rush, huge rush that they could move in and they could move out. So in this at this point of time, this huge while huge rush was seen there, devotees got trapped there, and this stampede like situation has broke out, and people even tried to move out from that place, but they were trapped inside, and fortunately few people escaped from that stampede like situation, but unfortunately few people lost their lives, and few people received severe injuries, and few people immediately fainted there. Several were seen in unconscious state, and they were they were seen on the ground, lying on the ground, and immediately the locals who were available there, they were seen even giving CPR to these people, injured victims due to breathlessness, and a few others who regained conscious. They were immediately shifted to the local hospital for treatment. What we are learning from this source is that the Chief Minister has already spoken to the collector and also other officials, and they are also moving to the ground right now. Srikakulam collector and Srikakulam SP are also going to the ground and to ascertain the situation, what exactly happened. As of now, what we are learning from the source is that because of the overcrowding at this Kashibogga temple in the Srikakulam, this stampede-like situation reported, and even Chief Minister has responded to this matter, and the Chief Minister has also stated that speedy recoveries, and in Srikakulam at this Kashibogga temple, this stampede situation has reported, and I'm deeply saddened, and because of this unfortunate incident, a few devotees have lost their lives, and for them I'm extending my and at the same time he has also said
right,
that
you're saying that the Chief Minister has already issued his condolences. The families obviously mourning the loss of their loved ones. Give us more details into the rescue and relief operations which are also underway, the measures which have been taken by the government as well.
Well, yes, immediately local police reached the spot is what we are given to understand from the sources, and even the other devotees who were there inside, the other devotees who fainted on the ground, who received injuries, and even who went into the unconscious state because of the breathlessness, because of this stampede-like situation. Immediately, the other devotees who were there, they also performed CPR to the devotees, victim devotees who fell on the ground, and a few regained conscious, and a few were in unconscious state, and all of them were immediately shifted from the hospital to the local hospital. And what we are learning from the sources is that even to the patients have been shifted to the local Srikakulam government hospital, and even Chief Minister has ordered the officials to ensure that these victims will get proper treatment at the local hospitals. If needed, they should be transferred to the higher medical centers for the treatment. So as of now, the recovery process is on, and for the patients, and the medical assistance is being provided at the local hospitals, and even authorities are on ground trying to ascertain the situation, what exactly happened. And even what we are learning from the sources is that even CCTV, the police are inquiring into the CCTVs, and also they are looking out what exactly happened, what is the trigger point, and once they come to the conclusion, because the preliminary investigation has already been launched, so they will come to the conclusion what is the trigger point, what is the exact reason, and why it has happened, because it never happened in the past, because this is famous temple in the Srikakulam, and across all the famous temples in the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, people do turn out in huge number to these Lord Venkateshwara Swami temples, because on the occasion of Ekadashi, and even we do see the heavy crowd in the Tirupati, also Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. So likewise, even people have turned out to this temple, and because of the overcrowding, because of huge rush into the temple, this kind of incident has reported. And police are looking into the CCTV footages which are there inside the temple, and they will get to know, police will get to know that what exactly happened, what is the reason, and then then they'll be coming to a conclusion of the preliminary prima facie. So once that is done, then later they will investigate deep into the matter, what are the reasons behind it, why no arrangements have been made, what is the exact reason. But one thing is very much clear, that proper security arrangements were also not made from the management side or from the police side. That is very clearly visible.
Exactly. Where did the lapse happen? Now that obviously is a matter of investigation. You are telling us that the probe has happened, but how did this tragedy take place? That's something we don't know yet, but extremely disturbing incident coming to light. What's happening on the ground, Shomit, latest when we speak of the rescue operations? I believe authorities are already monitoring what's happening on the ground. CCTV, etc., as you are saying, is being monitored to ascertain the cause of this tragedy. But the rescue and relief operation, how many people hospitalized, how many dead, any updates coming in when it comes to those numbers?
Well, we are yet to receive information on the numbers, but as of now, what we are learning from the sources is that several people lost their lives, and several people they've received injuries, and they've been shifted to the hospital. And because authorities on ground trying to rescue, and also the measures have been launched on the ground. They are ascertaining the situation, how many have been shifted to the local hospital, because even before the police arrived, locals were there, and they helped the temple staff also in shifting the victims to the local government hospital and also other private hospitals. So they are right now ascertaining the situation, and what is the number, what is the reason, what is the trigger point. All these things will be known very shortly. And already Chief Minister has spoken to the collector and ordered that the victims who received injuries, they should be given better medical assistance, and speedy recovery is also he has ordered.
Please stay with us. Please stay with us. We also have MOS Bandi Sanjay on the phone line with us. Sir, afternoon. Thank you for joining us on time now. Any update you can give us as far as the number of dead, injured in this Stampede horror is concerned, sir?
Hello?
Yes, sir. If you can hear us, sir, any update you can give us, sir, the number of dead, injured in this stampede horror in Andhra's temple, sir.
Hello.
Sir, can you hear us? Okay, that was Bandi Sanjay MOS home. We will be getting back to him, but at the moment, let's talk about the latest updates from the ground. Tragedy striking Srikakulam temple. Several devotees injured in the stampede. Many feared dead. That's the latest coming in. The Chief Minister mourning the death of devotees, saying that he's deeply saddened by what has happened. The CM has also directed officials to ensure relief and has ordered the best medical care for the injured. Local authorities also are very, very closely monitoring the situation. A heartbreaking tragedy coming to light, viewers. Another stampede which is happening in the country. The reason really for the stampede as to where the lapse happened, how it could happen, all of that is being ascertained. Shomit is bringing us each and every update from the ground. Shomit, over to you. Take us through what's happening far as the rescue and relief operations are concerned. We are getting to know that at least 9 people, we believe, have lost their lives. How many injured, shifted to hospital, and also take us through the, the operations far as the rescue and relief is concerned. What's happening on the ground?
Well, authorities have launched the operation on the ground, and already all the victims have been shifted from the local hospital to the from the local incident spot to the local hospital. And on the other hand, even people who received severe injuries were also shifted to the local private and medical hospital, or to the government hospital. So few people have reportedly dead, and how many exactly, the authorities are also ascertaining the number, what exactly happened, and how many people died, and how many people are injured. All these things are being ascertained by the authorities, and they are looking into the matter, and even CCTVs are being examined by the police. What is the trigger point? Why so much rush in, and what is the main point that people have to come in huge number. And what we are learning from the sources is mainly overcrowding of the overcrowding. Because of the overcrowding, this incident has reported, and several people have lost their lives and several people injured. And even authorities are reached the ground, and even collector and SP are reaching the ground, and then they'll also be looking into the matter, inquiring into the matter. And as of now, police are on ground, and already victims have been shifted to the local hospital for treatment, and other people are also who lost their lives are being shifted to the local government hospital morgue to conduct the postmortem inquiry. And on the back end, police will also be registering a case related to this incident under relevant sections of BNS Act, and they'll also be investigating into the matter. Already preliminary investigation has begun at the spot. Police are inquiring into the matter. They're also collecting the testimonies from the other devotees who were there on the spot, who were eyewitnesses on the spot, who witnessed into the this incident. And on the other hand, they're also examining the CCTV footages at the hospital, at the temple premises, and to understand the situation. And it clearly looks like there was a lapse on the temple management side, and also at the same time it comes under the government. So even whether temple didn't inform the police, or whether police.
Who is responsible for these arrangements? Is it the temple authorities? Is it the government? Who is responsible, to make arrangements in case there is some sort of an overcrowding which we are seeing today?
Well, it looks like it is it's a matter of the investigation. But as of now, it looks like proper arrangements were 100% were not made. If arrangements would have been made, proper security arrangements would have been made, then this would have been averted. So arrangements were not made. It is clearly evident on the ground, and that's the reason huge crowd came in. And because of the no proper arrangements, this incident has reported. So as of now, investigation has already begun by the police, and it's a matter of the fact of the investigation that who is responsible for it, whether local police is responsible for it, whether temple management responsible for it, and who is the exact who is responsible for it, and who will take that responsibility. It's the matter of the investigation. But as of now, the important thing is that relief measures have been already launched, rescue measures have already been concluded, and injured victims have been shifted to the local hospital, and even instructions were given from the top government that better medical assistance should be provided to all the injured victims. And even on the other hand, investigation is already taking place on the ground, and CCTV footages are being examined. So as of now, situation is under control, and investigation is going on, and better medical treatment is being provided to the victims, and we'll have to wait and see how many people lost their lives and how many people injured there, because authorities are on ground. Just now, just a while ago, rescue measures have been concluded. So relief measures are now being provided on the ground. So we'll have to wait and see how testimonies, what will the victims say, and what will be the investigation say, because preliminary investigation will only, after the preliminary investigation concludes, we will get to know the exact reason. As of now, overcrowding is the overcrowding is what expected and is being suspected by the police. So we'll only get to know what is the exact reason, after the preliminary investigation concludes.
Well, absolutely. I understand, Swamit, it's a bit early far as, to ascertain the reason for this tragedy. Why don't you take us through the statement which has been issued by the Chief Minister? I believe he's mourned the tragedy and obviously promised all sort of relief, medical aid to those in need. Okay, Shomit, we seem to have lost that line with you. If you can hear us, take us through the latest as far as the rescue and relief operations are concerned. We believe many have been hospitalized, those injured. The Chief Minister has also issued a statement. Okay, Shomit will be coming back with us. Meanwhile, we are talking about obviously the tragedy, the latest which is happening on the ground. The Chief Minister has already issued a statement. Viewers, as we know, this is obviously a heartbreaking tragedy which has come to light. Andhra Pradesh Stampede horror, a heartbreak in Srikakulam temple. Stampede horror claiming at least 9 lives. That's what we know at the latest. The details are a bit sketchy. Many have been crushed at the moment. What we know is that Ekadashi rush possibly led to this entire tragedy. Shomit, you were taking us through the latest far as the rescue and relief ops are concerned. We believe multiple people who have been injured, they have been hospitalized. The Chief Minister has also issued a statement. Take us through the statement which has been issued by the CM and the rescue and relief operations which we believe at the moment are underway on war footing.
Well, that's true. See, already on the ground, officials have reached the spot, and they are, carrying out the relief measures now, because rescue measures have already been concluded. The entire situation has been taken into the, taken under control by the police, and initially, what is the exact reason is now being ascertained, and already Chief Minister spoke to the collector, and the collector has also instructed to the local officials. So as of now, police officials are on the spot. Revenue officials are reaching the spot, and even higher officials are expected to be on the spot very soon, and even political leaders have been asked to go on the ground and see the situation and extend all the help from the government side. So as of now, relief measures are being provided by the government and by the officials, and on the other side, investigation has already begun by the local police, and what is the reason, and who will government hold responsible for this incident. That all things will only be known after the investigation is concluded. But as of now, preliminary investigation has already begun. Like I was saying, even CCTV footages are being examined by the police, and even on the other hand, they're also collecting the testimonies of the victims, and a few victims are also in good condition at the local hospitals. So police will also be speaking to those victims, and they will also be taking their testimonies, and also they will be investigating into this matter, that what is the trigger point, what is the main reason behind it, and only then we will get to know that, what is the exact reason behind it and who is responsible for it, and why there were lapses, at the temple, why no security arrangements were not made or enough security arrangements were not made. Even if security arrangements were made and not enough security arrangements were not made, like it happened in the Tirumala Tirupati when several people lost their lives after huge crowd gathered at the Tirumala Tirupati temple, when we saw that immediately after authorities opened the gates, police opened the gates, public devotees who were there in hundreds of thousands of numbers, they tried to enter into the gate. So at that time we saw how even TTD has come out and apologized, and even Chief Minister visited there, opposition leaders visited there, and now opposition leaders are yet to respond on this matter. But at that time, the Stampede,
and you stay with us, Shomit, and we will be coming back to you. These are heartbreaking visuals, viewers. Visuals nobody wants to see. On camera, what we see is the moment of the stampede, and look at the rush there. Look at the number of people, who are in that temple. Possibly, as Shomit was also telling us, that it was that the Ekadashi rush. Again, it's too early to say what led to the tragedy, what led to this sort of a stampede, but possibly it was that rush which led to that stampede. Extremely, extremely disturbing news coming in. Jyotsna of TDP on the phone line with us. Afternoon, thank you for joining us, Jyotsna. Any update you can give us, number of injured, dead, and also the rescue and relief operations which are underway? I know it's too early to talk about what led to the tragedy, but take us through the steps which are being taken at the moment to ensure that the families get some sort of a relief.
Extremely unfortunate and disturbing incident for us today. Being Ekadashi, there was huge crowd there, but as you rightly said, we cannot assess what went wrong, where it went wrong as of now, but our primary concern for the government and for the authorities there is the safety of all the injured and providing medical assistance, and also reducing the chaos there and mitigating any further casualties or injuries. That their lives are first motto. That's the reason all our authorities are on the ground there. Extra forces have been, additional forces have been called for there to maintain the situation and reduce the chaos. And our minister for that particular area, Srikakulam Naidu garu, is on his way to the temple, and also the local MLA, Sri Kautu garu, is also on our way, and everybody, from the minister's team is also, heading there, and they are trying to provide as much as help possible from them. And as I said, our major concern as of now remains to shift the injured to the hospitals and provide them medical assistance immediately.
Absolutely. And again, I know it's a bit early, but would you know who's responsible for maintaining and ensuring the security in this particular temple here? Would it be temple authorities, state government? If you could shed some light on the same.
Definitely, a little bit of onus lies on both. There is no doubt about it. But as I said, we have to, nothing has come out yet with regard to what was the arrangements made by the temple and what were the assistance they have asked from the government, and where the government has helped them, or what. This has to be, taken stock of, which we have not done as of now, because, as I said, our first concern is to, take care of all the victims.
Yes. And you're right about that, and that obviously is the concern at the moment. Let's talk about the rescue and relief operations which are underway, because I believe the Chief Minister has already, posted about it, also expressed condolences on the same.
Yes, the Chief Minister has already instructed the officials to be there and instructed all the, assistance to be provided to the victims.
Thank you for joining us. Vinusha Reddy of the BJP also with us. Extremely heartbreaking tragedy, Vinusha Reddy. What will you say at this moment? I mean, we are at a loss of words. Heartbreaking moment, obviously, for the entire nation.
It's really heart-wrenching to hear such news on the holy auspicious Saturday of Kartika Masa, and it also turned out to be Ekadashi, which is very auspicious, and such incident happening in Venkateswara Swami temple in Srikakulam. I don't have words to express my sorrow. The visuals are so heartbreaking. It shouldn't have happened at all, that too on such an auspicious day. And Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu garu has already reacted, and he has instructed the officials officials to act very swiftly, and he has instructed all the government officials. And the first priority is to provide medical treatment to those people who are injured, and fast measures are being taken to ship them to the hospital and providing them the medical treatment and the medical aid. And apart from that, Chandrababu Naidu Garu has also instructed the in-charge Minister N Naidu Garu and the local MLA Gauda Sirisha Garu, and they are on their way to the site. And relief measures and rescue operations are being done on a faster pace.
Thank you for joining us, Vinusha Reddy. Andhra Pradesh Stampede horror. Nara Lokesh, also viewers, is going to visit the Stampede site. That's the latest which we know at the moment. Again, we were saying that it's a bit early to ascertain the exact cause of the tragedy, but multiple people, no more devotees crushed. It's a moment of grief for the entire nation. Again, as we were telling you, Nara Lokesh is going to visit the Stampede site. The Chief Minister has already offered his condolences. The government says that all the effort, they are doing each and everything possible to give every sort of relief to the family of the deceased. Shubhangi joining us live from the newsroom. Shubhangi, take us through all the reactions coming in, starting from the Chief Minister himself.
That's right, Meenakshi. Completely heartbreaking news coming in from Andhra Pradesh. Now, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Andhra Pradesh Minister Nara Lokesh has taken on X to say that the stampede at the Venkateshwara temple has caused the death of several devotees, plunging us into profound shock. A deep sorrow has gripped us on this Ekadashi day. I extend my deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their lives. The government is providing better medical treatment to those injured in the stampede. We also have BJP's National General Secretary Bandi Sanjay, who has taken on X to say that deeply saddened by the tragic stampede at the Venkateshwara Swami Temple in Srikakulam district, which claimed innocent lives of devotees and left several others injured. My heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, praying for the speedy recovery of those injured. So several people from the political fraternity have expressed their condolences. Now we know that Chief Minister has already ordered medical assistance on the ground. The relief operation is underway in the ground while the political reactions are coming in.
All right, Shubhangi, thank you for joining us and taking us through all the reactions which are coming in. Shomit continues to be live with us. Shomit, horrific stampede taking place in Andhra Pradesh. It's a heartbreaking tragedy. What do we know about the latest rescue and relief operations? What's happening on the ground?
Well, already authorities are on spot, and even what we are learning from the sources that TDP MLA has also reached, and former Minister of the YSCP, they also reached the ground and trying to provide the relief measures on the ground, and already rescue measures have already been concluded at the ground at this spot, because initially huge overcrowded, huge rush was seen there at the temple. So normally all the Lord Venkateshwara temples and across Telangana and Andhra Pradesh on the occasion of Ekadashi, people do turn out in huge number. So, similarly at this temple in Kashibugga temple, one of the famous temples in the Srikakulam district in the coastal region of the Andhra Pradesh, there also huge number of people gathered there at the temple, and initially due to the heavy rush in and rush out, this incident has reported is what we are learning from the sources, and already police have begun the investigation, preliminary investigation. They've already started. So once the preliminary, they conclude once they come to the conclusion about the preliminary investigation, then we'll get to know exactly what is the reason behind it. But as of now, rescue measures have already been concluded on the spot, and all the victims who who received injuries and who were found lying on the ground, and who were seen being helped by the other victims. They were seen providing CPR, doing CPR to the injured victims, and several people have also they fell unconscious there on the ground due to the breathlessness. So, due to the overcrowding situation. So, as of now, what we are learning from the sources is that rescue measures concluded and relief measures are being provided on the spot, and already police reached the ground. They are examining the CCTV footages from the temple, and also even initially the other locals who were very much helpful. Fortunately, they didn't run out from the situation, but few managed to escape, and few stood there and helped the other victims who fell on the ground, and immediately they did the CPR and, they shifted, they also helped the police and the hospital staff in shifting the injured victims to the local hospital, government hospital and the private hospital. So as of now, the few people have also unfortunately lost their lives. The dead bodies have been already recovered and now being shifted to the local government hospital, to the morgue to conduct the PME, and after that, the dead bodies will also be handed over to the kin. So as of now, police have launched the preliminary investigation, and what we are learning is that Nara Lokesh will also be going to the spot, going to the hospital to understand the situation, what happened there, what is the reason behind it, and to ascertain the situation details. Police officials are also on the ground, and they'll also, what we have learning from the sources is that government has asked the officials on ground to submit a detailed report to the Chief Minister's office, and very soon that will be done, is what we are learning from the sources. So Minister Nara Lokesh is also expected to come to visit to the ground very soon. So we are one side seeing that rescue measures have already been concluded, situation is now under control, and the injured victims have been shifted to the local government hospital and private hospital for treatment, and already Chief Minister spoke to the collector, asked the collector that better medical assistance and a speedy recovery should be ensured of the victims who received injuries, and also he has expressed his condolences and also extended his condolences to the families of the deceased kin, and at the same time what we are learning is that already instructions have been given that what exactly happened should be investigated and a detailed report should be provided. So very soon we will be understanding,
detailed report is also going to be provided very soon. We will know possible cause of the tragedy. But what do we know, Shomit, about who's responsible for maintaining security in the temple? Who's responsible? Is it temple authorities? Is it the government? And when, in instances, we may not know what has happened today, but when in instances like this, perhaps like everyone knows it is Ekadashi, everyone was expecting a big rush, then what happens? Is an additional security provided? What sort of arrangements are made in general?
See, arrangements should be made, at the local, at the temples, because normally Lord Venkateswara Swami temple, normally people do turn out in huge number, and what happened is on the ground, whose lapse is it, whether temple management didn't inform the police to make security arrangements, or whether police didn't arrive there or made enough security arrangements there. So we'll only get to know, it's a matter of the fact of the investigation, only after the investigation is done and it's concluded, then only we will get to know what is the exact reason behind it and what is the main cause, and who the lapse are seen on whose side, and who's the who's responsible for that. Only we will get to know after the investigation concludes. But as of now, what we are getting to know is that already investigation has begun on the ground, and what we are learning from the sources that a few people have lost their lives and few people have been shifted to the local hospital for treatment.
That's the latest coming in, and we'll have to wait and watch really, what had happened, what led to the tragedy. We have that very horrific moment of Stampede also on camera, which we are showing you. Shomit, if you could take us through these visuals as well.
Very unfortunate. We can clearly see how people fell there, and how even other people are doing CPR, and it's very unfortunate that several devotees lost their lives, and we can clearly see other devotees who were on ground. They were very much helpful to the victims who received injuries and who fainted due to the breathlessness. So we can clearly see in the visuals, temple was very overcrowded, and due to the rush in and rush out, this incident has happened, is what we are learning from the sources. So we'll have to wait and see, once the police concludes the preliminary investigation, we'll get to know what is the exact reason and what triggered to this incident, because normally this is one of the famous temples, is what we are learning from the sources. So never in the past this has happened, this kind of incident has happened. So now authorities are also examining all the angles, whether why this happened, what is the exact reason, why there was no arrangements made, whether any written requisition was given to the police for the security arrangements to be made, or whether any oral information was given to the police for the security arrangements to be made, and whether temple has at least made any arrangements with volunteers or not, whether all these angles are now being ascertained, and we'll have to wait and see once once the investigation intensifies.
And once the investigation, we'll have to wait and watch. Shamit, stay with us. We have a breaking news coming in at the moment. This is another update which is coming in far as the Andhra Stampede horror is concerned. Mohan Naidu is going to visit the Stampede site. Shamit, give us more details on the same.
Well, yes, Mohan Naidu, Minister Nara Lokesh, because Mohan Naidu is the MP from the Srikakulam district, so Srikakulam Assembly constituency, so this temple also comes under his constituency. So Mohan Naidu will also be visiting the temple, and also Nara Lokesh will also be visiting the temple very soon, and they'll also be speaking to the Chief Minister. And already instructions have been given to the local police that detailed, also to the collector, that a detailed report should be submitted to the Chief Minister office, and what exactly reason, what happened, and how many people lost their lives, how many people are injured, how many people are right now undergoing treatment, and how many people have been discharged. All these will be included in the report, and we'll have to wait and see, because preliminary investigation has already begun, and ministers will also be visiting the temple. It's likely expected that they'll also be visiting the hospital, and also they'll be speaking to the victims, is what right now we are learning from the sources.
Absolutely, and this is a heartbreaking news which has come in. Stampede horror claiming over 9 lives, multiple devotees crushed in this particular Ekadashi rush. You were taking us, Shamit, also through the due procedure. Help us understand, for the benefit of our viewers, what exactly is the due procedure in such cases. Again, we don't want to speculate, we don't want to say who or what led to this tragedy. But to begin with, what is the security protocol, the procedure which is followed? Who tells the devotees that there possibly could be a rush? Who is responsible for maintaining lines? Can you give us details on what is followed as a norm? Shamit, if you can hear us, take us through the protocol which is followed. Who's responsible for safety and security? Who's responsible for maintaining lines when there is a rush? What happens in such cases?
Well, see, normally at these temples where huge crowd is expected, there, it is minimum. It is the it is minimum required that a minimum security arrangement is made at the temple. So, if the security arrangements are not made, these kind of incidents do happen. So, we have earlier seen at several temples these kind of incidents do happen, and last time we have saw at the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthan. So, even this time here also it happened. So, what is the exact reason? That is the matter of the fact of the investigation. So, once the investigation is done, we can confirm it. We can't speculate, based on the information coming in from the ground. But once the investigation is done, then only we can exactly say what is the exact reason behind it, what happened on the ground, and what triggered this, and how many people were there at the temple. What we are learning from the sources that thousands of people gathered there at the temple when this incident happened, and like I said, due to the rush in and rush out, this incident has reported. So we'll have to wait and see how things what went wrong there, and what is the main reason behind it. And it's very unfortunate. We can also clearly see in the visuals, people have fainted there on the ground, and they immediately lost their lives. Few people immediately lost their lives, and few injured, and they were shifted from immediately. Local devotees who were there on the ground, they performed CPR, and then the victims were shifted to the local hospital. So as of now, two ministers, one union minister and one state minister, is expected to be reaching the ground very soon, and they'll also be speaking to the victims about what exactly happened, what is the reason behind it, and all those things will be done. And after that, police are also on the other hand parallelly investigating into the matter, and once the investigation concludes, then we will get to know.
Okay, and that obviously is a big update. Shamit, do stay with us. For the benefit of our viewers who are joining us now, let's tell them what is happening. The story is also still developing. Fast-paced developments happening. Extremely tragic news coming in from the state of Andhra Pradesh, where multiple devotees have been crushed in a stampede horror taking place in Andhra Pradesh. When will these stampede horrors, these tragedies end? That's the big question which we are raising. Again, let's tell our viewers what we know so far. We know that at least 9, at the very minimum, 9 people have lost their life. That number possibly and very, very unfortunately could increase. We have those heartbreaking visuals also of the listless bodies after the Stampede tragedy. Now the Stampede claiming 9 lives. Extremely disturbing, heartbreaking news coming in. The Chief Minister has already issued a statement. He has condemned and condoled that entire tragedy and said that rescue operations are going to happen at a war footing. My colleague Shubhangi is also live with us. She's taking us through all the reactions coming in. Shubhangi, take us through the reactions coming in. The Chief Minister, 2 Andhra Pradesh ministers, condoling the loss of lives and also elaborating on the rescue and relief operations which are now underway.
Right, Meenakshi, on my screens I have Andhra Pradesh Deputy CM Pawan, Deputy CM's reaction on my screen here. He's saying, and I quote, "It is extremely tragic that 9 devotees lost their lives in a stampede that occurred due to thousands of devotees thronging for darshan of Lord Venkateshwara at Venkateshwara Swami Temple in Srikakulam district on the occasion of Ekadashi. The fact that a child was also among them has deeply shaken us. The government will take all possible measures to ensure that the injured in this incident receive the best treatment. I hope they recover quickly. Expressing profound condolences to the family of the deceased, I assure them that the government will extend all kinds of support to them. I request that administrative machinery to regulate the crowd of devotees at the temples across the state during spiritually significant days and ensure that no such accidents occur." So here Pawan Kalyan ordering the administrative machinery to actually regulate the crowd in the devotee, which is the much needed thing right now, because we have seen stampede happening across India in the last few months, and here Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister basically ordering the regulation machinery to go check the system in the temples and to able to be prevent this kind of stampede.
All right, and that obviously are the reactions which are coming in. Extremely heartbreaking